Here is the second example of sketching a hyperbola. In the first video I made two errors. I should have actually written in the equations of the asymptotes and put in the places where it cut the x and the y axis. The other mistake was I misspelled asymptote. We'll have a look at another equation. Y equals -2 over x plus 3 minus 1. We need to determine our asymptotes, and to do that we note the fact that the bottom part of the fraction can never equal 0. So x plus 3 can never equal 0, so therefore our first asymptote is going to be the line x equals -3. For our second asymptote, we're going to note the fact that the fraction can never be 0 because the numerator is not 0. Therefore y can never equal 0 minus 1, so therefore y can never equal minus 1. That means our asymptote must be y equals -1. We can look at this equation and we can see we have a negative up the top and a positive x down below, so this means that this is a negative hyperbola. We need now to find our intercepts. We do this first of all by setting x equal to 0, so therefore y equals -2/3 minus 1, y equals -1 and 2/3, so that was easy. Our second one, we have to set y equal to 0, so we end up with a slightly trickier equation. Zero equals -2 over x plus 3 minus 1. We add 1 to both sides. 1 equals -2 over x plus 3. We multiply through by x plus 3. X plus 3 equals -2. We subtract 3 from both sides. X equals -5. So we have the line, have our two asymptotes, so we'll put them in. X equals -3, this line here roughly, and y equals -1, roughly this line, so we'd write y equals -1, x equals -3 for our two asymptotes. Then we have -1 and 2/3, so it's going to cut somewhere down there. So that's, what are you doing, Kosh? That was one of my cats. So that's -1 and 2/3. We've also got it cutting at x minus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so roughly there. So we have our two curves of the hyperbola coming something like that, and something like that, and there is our sketch. We can see that because it was negative, we're using these two quadrants, rather than for the positives we'd be using two different quadrants. And that's all. It is actually very easy to sketch most hyperbolas. I'll look at a trickier one next.